Alright everybody, welcome back to another Dead by Daylight video. So in today's video I wanted to discuss the new 2v8 mode, because this was a mode that has been highly requested for a very long time. We haven't heard anything on it as of the date of this video. The live stream hasn't gone up, we haven't really seen anything on it, we've just heard a few things from the devs. Now, I have alluded in a few other videos where I have maybe mentioned here and there that I think 2v8, while fun, in concept, I don't think is going to be a very good game mode. And I'm going to list my reasons why, and this is more of a time capsule video to see how accurate I was and to see if my beliefs still hold true. Now, before we start any of this, I need to preface, I am glad the mode is coming regardless of my feelings towards it. Right? I would rather behavior make modes like this and keep the community happy by giving them something that a lot of the communities wanted, even if it's something I didn't want. Also, I will be streaming the 2v8 mode when it comes out on Wednesday. I'm not going to say who my duo is, but I do have a duo for it. That being said, so behavior, the information we've gotten about the 2v8 mode is that it's only going to be the base killers from when the game launched, and Nurse, I believe. So that's Trapper, Hillbilly, Wraith, and Nurse. I think Huntress is in there too, I'm not 100% sure on that. Regardless, my point is it's the basic cast. We've also apparently been told that there's no add-ons you can bring, so it's only going to be perks, I believe. Once again, this is before the live stream, we don't have the full details. There will also be 8 survivors instead of 4. There's also rumors that not rumors, but the devs also basically said that the hooking system will be very similar to Pinhead, so I would assume kind of like the remote hook mode. I'm sorry, Pyramid Head, not Pinhead. Now, all that's great. Cool. Love it. Here are my problems. My biggest issue with this mode is, from the survivor perspective, similar to in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the idea of getting sandwiched by 2 killers and just dying for it does not sound very fun. It just doesn't. And as of now, we have only the base characters. Now, we're assuming they're going to add the other ones as time goes on and the mode is released more often. That being said, I'm going to go on a tangent here about a specific character who I think can never be in this game mode, and that is Deathslinger. Now, why Deathslinger in particular? Deathslinger is the only killer in the game who, in a mode like this, would have targeted crowd control. For those who don't play other games outside of DVD, what do I mean by that? He's the only killer in the game that has a targeted stun. Something that can lock you in place. Now, you might be thinking, what about Trapper? Trapper's isn't targeted, the opponent has to walk into it. Same with any other killer with similar mechanics. Now, why is this bad? Well, if Deathslinger was in the mode, I don't know, he could just reel you in and a Bubba could be right there with a chainsaw ready, or a Billy, or Nurse could double hit you with a crow setup that they have perfectly timed in that location. Trapper could put a trap right before you're about to leave out of it. There's a lot of problems with it. Deathslinger can never come to this mode. I'm cool that they're experimenting with the original cast, because that brings me on to the other thing, with the original cast synergies. The original cast, the more I thought about it, really doesn't have too many synergistic aspects. There are a couple, though. One of the biggest ones that I'm not going to market this or anything, if Wraith kind of scouts for, I don't know, Hillbilly to let him know where to start chainsawing. So Wraith can go forward invisible and kind of like scout out where the survivors exactly are, get their location, and tell the Hillbilly. Another thing with this is a killer like Trapper, and this is probably how I'm going to be using Trapper. One of the Trapper's biggest issues is that people can kind of walk behind him and get rid of his traps. Well, now the other killer can bodyguard the traps. And I need to make this very clear. This has nothing to do with the idea of winning or losing. Right? In the situation I just described with bodyguarding traps. Killers are probably going to lose that because they're giving half of their pressure to the traps. However, if you were that survivor who ends up in a trap because another killer prevented you from being able to get rid of the counterplay of Trapper by getting rid of the traps, that's not going to feel very good. If you're in a god loop, but it turns out one killer is on one side, the other killer is on the other, That's not going to feel good. You're stuck in a bear trap and a Billy just comes zooming across the map with a chainsaw and downs you immediately because Trapper normally doesn't have the speed to make it across the map to do that. It's not going to feel good. I really love the concept. I do. I really, really do. And I would once again love to be proven wrong on this point. But I do think that the game mode is going to be extremely frustrating, especially on the survivor end of things. I'm not too sure how frustrating it's going to be on the killer end. I really don't think it will be. I think the killer is going to have a grand old time during this. And this levies me to another talking point of the events in general. Lights Out was, even I'll admit, was extremely killer-sided. It was an extremely killer-sided game mode. Oh, but it was just for fun, Banette. I know it was just for fun, but some people can't do that, and we all know that. Lights Out was very killer-sided. Lack of not having perks, not only did it make the game killer-sided in the sense that killers still had their powers and most of the control during the match when there's no perks involved. The other thing is that Survivor was just kind of boring without perks because you don't have anything to break up the monotony of just playing a skin. Then we had the Chaos Shuffle, which, in my opinion, wasn't either-sided, honestly. I have a few problems with Chaos Shuffle. Mostly, I feel like the Survivor items and killer add-ons could have also been randomized. I feel like that would have been a good change. But otherwise, I think Chaos Shuffle is the best one they've ever done. I really wish it would come back in some way, shape, or form. My Little Oni was kind of a dumb thing I liked for like 10 minutes, but it was... I don't really know whose side it was. I don't think the survivors were expected to escape from that one, so I'll take what it is. But and that's the thing with these in the anniversary event. That one's more up in the air whose side it was. It really depends on who you ask. Personally, I don't think it was either sided. I think there was powerful effects on both sides, and I think if you brought the right combinations of builds, if you really wanted to win, it was fine. Honestly, I think the anniversary event was fine. It was the base game with a couple added mechanics. Some a little bit more frustrating than others. Cough, cough, remote pallet breaking. I still don't know why that worked the way it did. In any case, this mode I don't think is going to be as fun as some people are letting on. And I don't know. I just want to put my thoughts out there on it. And I'm curious because I've talked to some other people, and some people are agreeing with me on this fact that the idea of getting sandwiched. I brought this up with the point of Knight, a killer that everyone despises for the simple fact that he will pop a guard in a loop, sandwich you into either a double hit or just in general a free hit. People find that infuriating. Same with Skull Merchant with her drones. People find it infuriating. And now you're making a game mode that is just that. And it makes no sense to me. Maybe this is just a me thing. And I guess, as always, let me know what you guys think. I'm genuinely curious. It's just, on paper, it's never sounded good to me. If in practice it's amazing, I will eat my words. I always say this about everything I've ever said on this channel. In any case, I love you guys. Have a good one, and bye.
Subscribe, damn it. I'll be back. I always come back, and so should you, you moron.